Yeah, so in the city of Copenhagen, we love labs as well. So much that we have built several labs every year. This is one of the things I'm doing in the city of Copenhagen. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do and why I think techno-anthropologists could be very, very important to the success of the work in Copenhagen Solutions Lab. Copenhagen Solutions Lab is 1 year old, and this is kind of the thing we would like to happen. This is the slide my colleagues and I present when we go abroad, go to Berlin or somewhere else. We want to bring together all these different partners, one place in Copenhagen. If they work with smart urban solutions, smart city solutions, they should come to the Copenhagen Solutions Lab. If they come from companies, is it startups, is it citizens, is it universities, they should all come to Copenhagen Solutions Lab, and we'll create these new solutions that will completely change the way we do city of Copenhagen. So this has been running for a year and is mostly still on paper, unfortunately. In the end of this presentation, I would give you some ideas of what we're actually doing now and where there could be some playgrounds, to cite Anna's, where we can actually play together. So the smart city is usually presented like something like this. And as a techno-anthropologist, you might be it might be very easy for you to find out what's missing. There's actually no people in these pictures. And this is just one example I just downloaded from the internet yesterday. But if you Google this on an image search, you'll find that 90% of all pictures of smart cities have no people in them. So this is actually what smart city has been about for many years already. Smart city has been about creating solutions that are invisible to the people, that are very technology focused, and that might or might not actually work in a real city. So just to give some example, what the focus are at the moment is, and this is real what we're focusing on, and this is very relevant themes, but it's smart parking, smart sensing air quality, intelligent waste management, asset tracking, mobility monitoring, so forth, so forth. The interesting part is that a real city looks something like this, and I really like this. I mean, I don't know if you might be able to see it from up in the back, but this is one of my favorite urban spaces in the world. This is the New York City subway. Why is the subway interesting? Because this is actually one of the places in the world where you can actually sense what a city is. A city is a combination of the people there, and you actually have some smart technology there, right there. It's a subway that brings people around the city. It's built for the citizens, and it brings people around. And I find the subway especially interesting because it's so old. I just saw this video a few weeks ago that they have hardware in there from the 30s still running the trains part of the subway system. So citizens is what makes a city. And this for me is, if we want to put the smartness, the citizens into the city into the smart city, we need techno-anthropologists. So the question is, how do we create sustainable technological, and here there's a problem with the rendering, but technological innovation. Or the question could be stated, how does techno-anthropologists create value for the city of Copenhagen? So with other words, you can say, how do we make stuff that actually works and keep on working? And this is the major discussion in any real organization you will face when you're done with studying. I think techno-anthropologists, by combining the knowledge about technology and the knowledge about human and humans' behavior, will be able to actually be some of the best, I don't know, project managers or whatever, that can actually make things come into reality. Because the first picture I showed you about the city is the engineer's dream about a city. Engineers are really good to tame technology, make something that works. But if you implement it like let's say the technology, and this is a very used example, the technology that made up the iPad has been existing for years and years. It was first when people actually combined it in the right way, it was actually to be sold and make a difference. And it's the same in any solution in Copenhagen. We need the organizational support, we need the funding, we need the users to actually need this or be convinced that they need this. And then you can have solutions that would actually work. This is why we call Copenhagen Solutions Lab and not Copenhagen something else. There's so many different models on how you can do this, and there's so many methods and methodologies we can implement to use this, and some of them have been presented today already. Ethnography, data sprints, hackathons, design thinking and whatnot. What we need is basically someone to come and help us out with some of this stuff, because we don't know. We're kind of in the dark and doing like different experiments ourselves. And we have very little time for reflection and very little time to actually learn from what we're doing and find out how can we do it in a better way in Copenhagen so we can make this stuff that actually exists and keep on existing in the city. And finally, I'll just present you 3 different playgrounds to cite Anders, as I said, that we can meet you in. So the Copenhagen Solutions Lab is part of the innovation hub called Blocks. You see the building site down in the harbor. It will be finished in 2 years. That's the plan. You have Danish Architecture Center here. I have a Danish Design Center there. A lot of other city development actors in there. We're going to be in that building. It's going to be really exciting. Hopefully, Realdania, who's funding the whole thing, is throwing a lot of money into this. So something was going on here. This also means that this would be an interesting just place to get your foot in, because then you can meet some interesting collaborators. And more concretely, we have more specifically, we have 3 different, let's say, platforms or playgrounds. The first, you might know, it's the Copenhagen Open Data Platform with standard APIs, open source approach. And there's also the Hitachi Data Exchange. There's more data in there, also from private companies. But it's a paid platform, but it's also easier accessible. Hitachi is very interested in working with this stuff. And I've been talking to Anders Kohl earlier about could we integrate social media data as well? Could be a platform. We have the Street Lab, and this is very exciting. So here you have some illustration of what it's going to look like, but the area from Rådhuspladsen down to the harbor with H.C. Andersens Boulevard on one side, Vestervolga on the other side, is going to be a smart city street lab, and we're going to test out different technologies in there. We have actually no idea what technologies we're going to test out yet, but we're inviting big companies, small companies in there. It's going to open in March. It's going to be all type of partners. I'm working with some people. It could be interesting for students here as well. By doing some kind of idea foundry is the theme at the moment, where you can invite people in to develop prototypes and ideas to actually implement in this, hardware to implement in this test area. And this might even grow to Slotsholmen. And finally, and this is my own personal favorite, because I've been working for a year to actually fundraise for this. But now the association Maker just got some funding from the city of Copenhagen to do a Fablab. I don't know if we should call it a lab, enough labs out there. But værkstedet under broen, the workshop under the bridge. And basically this is a place for physical prototyping, a physical building, physical stuff. And for me, this is where techno-anthropology and the exploration of new methods of innovation is most crucial at the moment. So I'd love to invite you down there to help us create this lab and do the necessary research. Yeah, thank you.